Right now, I'm going to put my hand sock on while I talk to you. Um, the last couple of days have been pretty big as far as layoffs at Disney is concerned. We've gotten stuff about Freeform being absorbed into ABC, other entities being absorbed, and smaller, lighter, more streamlined, basically more streamlined entities within Disney being put together. And one of the things from one of the stories today that they talked about was story groups. Hey, Dave, were being, the people who wrote stories were being let go. Now, that being said, they said these were smaller executives, bigger ones were still there. Hi, Jay, how you doing? I want to caution you all with the fact that it looks to me, because of the way these layoffs are going, we may see bigger names in the next round if we don't see them this week. We still have 2 days to go. And it's what? All right, 1, 12, 11. It's 10:05 in the morning in California right now. And Burbank is going to get hit hard. I fully expect to see somebody that we know at Lucasfilm getting the can. All right. Hopefully it'll be somebody like Rain Roberts, who's an acolyte producer, and she's on the leadership list. And there are other ones, Carrie Beck, and there are some more that need to go. So we'll see. But we've got 2 more days, and I think we're going to get more announcements tomorrow, maybe today. It seems like they've been real quiet now. I think a lot of this stuff is being held back. A lot of this stuff is happening behind the doors. But with Disney stupidly filing a free speech lawsuit against the state of Florida because they lost Reedy Creek, this would be the perfect time to let some big names go because no one. Well, no, it's Dave. It's gonna end by the time summer approaches. We've got this round that ends tomorrow night, and then another round of layoffs, and then that should be it. Now, I'm going to say this. That doesn't mean that Disney decides we need to let more people go, right? 4,000, and I'm going to tell you something, 7,000 across the company, and mostly mid-level executives. And the mid-level executives at Lucasfilm were the ones that caused the most trouble for Star Wars, for Willow. They're the ones that got people involved with the High Republic and stuff like that. So look for Rain Roberts to go. Look for Carrie Beck to go. Look for Candace Campos to go. Look, Candace Campos is very much involved as a name in the lawsuit because her name is on some of the evidence. Okay, I've seen it. All right. All it is $16 and the world can be yours. Okay, figure out what courthouse it is, and there you go. You're halfway there. I want you guys to understand this. If we don't see a massive layoff at Lucasfilm now, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen in a couple of weeks. Now, Sparrow did say he sort of danced around a date, but didn't give it to us. So that's fine. I don't want to know it. and we just got to see where this goes. There's been no word on any Iger, Kathleen Kennedy face-to-face confrontations. It look, the big story now is that, and that's exactly what's going on here. I want those people to be surprised, okay? And I want to be surprised. But I want to say this. Since Disney has now decided to sue the state of Florida, which is fucking stupid. Look, let me explain. Disney lost Rady Creek, not necessarily because of their stupid opposition to the parental rights and education bill. They lost Rady Creek because they had a special relationship with Florida that other entities like Universal and others did not have. Okay. And they basically were able to govern that county or those counties themselves. And it was bullshit. And, you know, DeSantis just said, if they're going to cause us much trouble and attack parents, which is what they did, then I have to take away Rady Creek. And look, I lived in Florida, and back in 2007, people were talking about the bullshit that is Rady Creek. Why does Disney get to have this? Okay, why? Now, back in 1967, when the Reedy Creek Improvement District was created with Roy Disney, I think Walt was still alive when they were talking about it. It was a way to get people to Florida. It was a tourist thing, and it helped to develop Florida. I mean, look, after living in Florida, I can safely say it's the buggiest, most humid, hottest place in the United States, and I add Death Valley to that. And it's very interesting to me watching this and seeing how this went, because there's no reason to go to Florida. Big deal. The ocean's there. Big deal. Go to Hawaii. The Redneck Riviera is one of the filthiest places I've ever been. When we were driving across, we went up and then across the Florida Panhandle to go into Alabama on our way to California. And we stopped off at this roadside store, and I've never seen such a filthy bathroom in my life. I went upstairs, it was upstairs, looked in, gagged, and had to cross my legs for another hour and a half till we actually got to a place that was decent enough to take. I mean, it was like the hepatitis factory of Pensacola, horrifying. Okay, I was disgusting. Okay, and when you think about what would get people to go to Florida, wintertime, it's warmer down there. Older folks like it, and it's just that's it. And Disney showed up, wanted to build. Epcot was going to be the city of the future. Roy Disney, after Walt died, didn't have the heart to do it. So Epcot became Epcot Center. All right. And they call Buena Vista the city of Buena Vista, but it's not a city. It's like 7 trailers. Okay, that's it. All right. And they get a lot of perks, or got a lot of perks. And it pissed off people in Florida, like the people that actually grew up there and live there. All right. Sure, it brought Disney World brought tourists, brought development. I don't think the villages would be there if it wasn't for Orlando. brought businesses to Orlando. Trust me, if you saw Orlando, it's a jungle with a city in the middle of it. All right, it's the Everglades. It's like no human being except maybe some Seminole warriors would live there if they didn't have to. Okay, um, it's again, it's you can imagine the malaria and the other diseases that white settlers found when they first got there, like the Spanish and the rest of the people. All right, now are there nice places? Tampa's nice, but we lived in Valrico, which was inland, and it was hot, buggy. I mean, I must have seen a black racer snake at least once a week, and I hate snakes. I mean, I'm not as freaked out about snakes as Indiana Jones, but okay, I don't like them. You had bugs and these flying. They're almost like flying cockroaches that would get into your house. Down on Sanibel Island, icky tree frogs would get into your house. And mosquitoes and biting flies and the humidity, and with my lungs, I couldn't deal with it, and my husband hated the humidity too. But with you had Disney getting Reedy Creek, getting that improvement district, and being able to develop Disney World. Okay, then you got Universal, which basically got a deal, but not the deal. Disney got a very special deal. All right, they got their asses kissed on both cheeks, and and it stopped last year. I mean, it stopped when Ron DeSantis said, "We're taking it away from you," and they're just disgusting. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would want to live there. I really don't. Even as, you know, even as a senior citizen, I couldn't imagine. I'm a Midwestern girl. I like the West. I love Wyoming. I love South Dakota on the west side of the state. I love Colorado. I love Montana, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, and Texas. Texas is too hot. Okay. And it's literally the only thing that really makes Florida attractive to me now is Ron DeSantis. And I look at him and go, quit fucking with Trump. All right, don't fuck with Trump. Okay, make peace with him and let's beat these fuckers. Okay, the important thing is beating the flying monkeys at Lucasfilm and seeing them go and defeating the Democrats, right? And there you go. I mean, we didn't go through Tallahassee, but trust me, I get it. I mean, I been told the love and affection for the Florida Panhandle, and it's like, you know, it just that bathroom was enough to absolutely. I'll never go back. I will never go back. And the people that ran that place should be embarrassed, my opinion. But Iger decided they should sue the state of Florida over their free speech rights because they're trying to say that the Reedy Creek thing was taken away from them because of the Parental Rights and Education Act, which is bullshit. Okay. And, that was the impetus to take it away. But trust me, having lived in Florida, I know that the residents of Florida have been pissed off that Disney got this special place and was able to do whatever the fuck they wanted for over 50, 60 years now. Okay, it's over. Done. People are done. Okay. And Ron DeSantis just said enough's enough. There you go. And there you go. So, now they're suing the state of Florida. This is the big news right now on Twitter. No one's talking about the layoffs anymore. This would be the perfect time for a big name to get fired from Disney. So keep your eyes open, okay? Because shiny object over here, meanwhile, blah, blah, blah gets the axe, you know. I don't think you do. It was on the highway, like right off the interstate. And it was run by, I would say, an Indian family. And it was like, do you people understand this is not New Delhi? This is the United States. I think that it's the shiny object for some reason. They're really in trouble, and this is the last thing they should be doing is suing Florida for any reason whatsoever. Right? It's like, are you fucking people crazy? You know, but whatever. And like we've seen the layoffs at some of the ABC and the like Disney animation, people getting laid off, story writers, not necessarily the wokest of the woke, but they may be next. I've seen people complaining that their friends are getting fired, and really, so far, if names like from Disney animation, like what's her face, Latoya Ravenel, and oh God, is she ugly? Holy shit. If she got fired, I think we'd know. I just do. I don't think they could keep their mouths shut. They'd be screaming homophobia. She was one that talked about her not necessarily secret gay agenda. All right, that was her. And if you ever see her LinkedIn, it's not hidden. And she, let me put it this way: woke women of any race are vile. All right, they're vile. They look vile. They're vile on the inside. They're vile. But let's talk about what this means for Lucasfilm. So last night, Sparrow got a hold of Cameron and said that the flying monkeys are afraid. Some of them are deluded into thinking they're safe, that they would never touch Lucasfilm. And others are being very philosophical, realizing that they haven't done well. The quote was, they feel like they've been an anchor around Iger's neck and are not going to be surprised if they get fired. Okay. And that's, I think, the way to look at it. When you work at a place like Lucasfilm, and it's a division, it's like the shoe department at Doorflingers, or think of the or at Saks Fifth Avenue. Okay, and you're not selling shoes. In fact, you're like in the red. You can bet your sweet bippy that you're going to get fired, your product's going to change, and there's going to be a new attitude. That's just the way that they've got to do it. And, when you've got black pills, insisting that the Ray movie's happening, and they're getting their, look, they're helping Kennedy burn the place down on the way out the door. All right. And they don't care. All right. I can find pictures of black pills dressed up like Jedi and all the rest of this shit, and I have. And it's like, you're not a fan. You aren't a fan. Look, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Put a one in the chat. If Pablo Hidalgo or any one of the flying monkeys came to you and said, I can get you inside information, would you believe them? Would you take them up on their word? Yes or no? I would say no. I would start laughing at them and saying, I don't know what game you're playing, but I'm not stupid. So Pablo or Matthew or Kristen or Carrie or Rain, go walk away. Go away. Scatter. I'm done. I'm not stupid. It's like an American OSS agent having a direct line to Goebbels and believing it. That's what this is. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. But that's exactly what some of the black pills did. I find Pablo to be very honest and trustworthy. Really? And this is where you're like, oh, Ichibaka, where are you? And put your blog up so we can show these people who he really is. Because he's going to attack the people saying, hey, wait a second. Because that's what he did. Okay. Attacked me, attacked Cameron, and others. Okay. And they ran with it because they think they've got an in. And now they're running with it and now they're stuck. All right. And, if you've invested into it, look, I talk about cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, in my opinion, is like narcissism. And you've got to feed it, right? You go to places, they're going to feed it. So when Pablo says, oh no, they're making a Ray movie. They're making a Ray movie, okay? And he says, oh no, she's working on this other show, but she's still filming The Acolyte, which I know is what he said. You are emotionally invested to believe it, all right? And if your business, because that's all you got, demands that you have to put this out there, you're going to do it. And it reinforces your idea that the big lie, I talked about the mythology built around Kathleen Kennedy, that she's the most powerful woman in Hollywood. No, she's not. She hasn't been that way in almost 10 years now, since 2018. And I might add, if she was, every time, look, if she was that powerful, they'd be singing her praises. If she was that powerful, they put press releases out when they resigned her. They did not do that. The only reason why we knew that she at least got some sort of a contract extension from Chapek was because Matt Bellany, Hail David, posted it with snark on his blog, puck.com. Okay, but is she the most powerful woman? No, she's not. She's not. All right, that's probably still Oprah Winfrey. Okay, it's probably still Barbara Streisand. Okay, and Peter, I absolutely agree with you. And he might actually be the problem here. But I don't see how that could be because he doesn't work for Disney. Only as a contractor as a producer for Indiana Jones 5. And yeah, I think you're right. You're right on that. I think you're right on that, Cross. It's just sad that this all has happened, but it's going on. And I think we're coming to a head with the Lucasfilm Flying Monkeys. And, when we've got these layoffs happening, and we've got clear-cut signs that they're not in a good position, we should take it seriously. Okay, we should take it seriously. We should make sure that people understand, okay, what's really going on at Disney and at Lucasfilm. Look, when I talked to Cameron a couple of afternoons ago here in Carlisle, he basically reiterated that a lot of these people that are big YouTubers don't understand how truly big firing and laying off 7,000 people is. This is massive, okay? Massive, all right? And Iger's back is up against the wall. So if he's got Kennedy sniping at him, he's also got the investors saying, if you don't do this, if you don't get rid of this person and this person and this person, you're fired and we'll get somebody who can. And look, if they hired somebody to take over Iger's place right now, there would probably be more people laid off, because what the investors want is someone that's going to be cutthroat, not nice, and say bye-bye to all the... Look, Bob Chapek fired Peter Rice, all right? Bob Iger fired Victoria Alonso. Bob Iger fired and got rid of Ike Perlmutter. Okay, doesn't matter who's sitting there in charge. All right, and, you know, is it a game he's playing with Kennedy? Yeah, but I think her husband could be involved, and that might be a complication. However, Frank is in New York City, hovering over his baby, Hello Oscar, a new play about Oscar Levant, starring Sean Hayes, that just came out. All right, like this week, to previews and everything. So, yeah, and Peter's right there too. Look, when I'm gonna posit this, and this is something you can ask anybody on another YouTube channel. How is it that you've got Matt Bellany saying none of these movies are greenlit? Okay, none of them. Yet you guys are acting like this is real. How is it that you don't see the fact that Kennedy may be blowing things up on the way out? She might be doing scorched earth Stalin-like, okay? You know, when Stalin was retreating from the West in the Soviet Union, as the German army marched through, he set everything on fire. I don't know, Jason. Maybe she'll never be fired. You know, maybe we're all like delusional. Don't ask stupid questions like that. Okay? Look, we don't know. Okay? No one has said anything like that ever, including me, and I've been accused of saying she's going to get fired. I've said 35% chance of getting canned. But how? Is she going to be frog marched out like the Flying Monkeys will be? No. I don't know what you want. Okay? That's a stupid, angry, pissed off, yellow flash, black pill question, looking for the cognitive dissonance feedback, and you're not getting it here, okay? We don't do that here, all right? What we do is we look at everything we know in the news, everything, and then we come up with a theory of what could be going on, and hopefully with some inside info from our guy at Lucasfilm, okay? And, you know, haven't heard anything about her face-to-face with Iger yet. But you gotta look at the big picture. And black pills never do. They act like 5-year-olds. I want what I want right now. Go tell Bob Iger that. Okay? Go tell Bob Iger that. And I'm gonna say this. A lot of black pill channels believe they've been hurt so badly that they're entitled to be illogical and irrational. Okay. I walked out of The Force Awakens shell-shocked by how horrible it was. Didn't know why I thought there was something wrong with the movie at that back then. I wanted to like it. I wanted to believe in it. And it took me bawling my eyes out driving home from TLJ to realize what a shit movie The Force Awakens. And I already had known that, by the way. Already had known that. I already knew that and I'd already said that on my channel here. But I didn't realize how bad the damage The Force Awakens had done to Star Wars till I saw it TLJ. All right. My heart was broken. But god damn it, I've never lost my realization that we were going to see an end to this bitch and the end of her shit. And it's happening. It might happen tomorrow. It might happen a month from now. All right? But it is going to happen. All right? Because let me explain something. Jason, Disney needs to make money. And Lucasfilm is in the red, okay? This is what you guys will never think about. Okay? I don't want to hear what you hope. Okay? I don't want to hear about it. That's black pill bullshit. Okay? That is black pill bullshit. And I'm done. I'm done with the cynical, negative bullshit. All right? You hear me? Well, start believing. And look at the writing on the wall. Look at where Disney's shares are. Look at the fact for the last 3 years they haven't paid dividends on their stock. You should have started looking at that shit when I started looking at it back in 2019. After The Rise of Palpatine came out. All right? That's when I started looking at it. And when the pandemic hit and everything had to close down, Disney stocks went down all the way to $79 that March of 2016. Okay? I've never seen you here, Irving, but okay. And I gotta say that it took people a long time to figure it out. Now, that Disney's going after the state of Florida for their free speech stuff, that is going to be ugly for Disney. Again. Oh, hey, Mazarus. Okay, Irving. Okay, here's something I want you guys to pay attention to. Go watch the introduction to The Mandalorian Season 3. Where's Kyle Ron's mask? All right, where's any sequel trilogy masks? They're nowhere. He's gone. That's $100,000 to go to the CGI people that create that stuff to say, we want you to get rid of this, 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 and this, and add this, 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 and this. Okay. And when Kennedy found out through me and Cameron and others, she screamed about it to Jon Favreau, and he said, talk to the boss. And the boss said, John can do whatever he wants. Bob Iger said that. Okay. So when you get to Celebration and you have her with that idiot Daisy Ridley, and she's screaming and ranting and raving. Look, that performance she put up there was a goddamn temper tantrum. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy has matured past the age of 14. Okay. She threw a temper tantrum. She allowed the acolyte to be talked about after the lawsuit. Hey, Kev, how you doing? Here's the deal. I have the complaint I have Lucasfilm's defense. They're going to get creamed. All right. And Iger told her, you need to settle it with McCarthy, and the money's coming out of your bonus. Okay. And he also told her, Indiana Jones 5 needs to make $1 billion. You're not leaving without your golden parachute. You're leaving without it. Okay. That's the truth. All right. So look at the layoffs. Now, if you're Iger and you see she's got a posse around her of women, and we've seen that picture of her. Hey, Rags. We see that picture of her, surrounded by all those women it looks like Skywalker Ranch. Probably the only time that bitch has ever been there since she took over Lucasfilm. It's very interesting to me. No men in that picture. All those women are woke bitches. I would say, all right, McCarthy, I think, was given what salary she was going to get for being basically running the TV show Sugar with Colin Farrell for Apple. And it was quite a bit of money. It was like over $1 million a year. And since she lost out on that, I would say that she probably is going to get about $1 million, $2 million, maybe even $3 million. Okay. But we don't know how this is going to happen. So what I think Iger's going to do is you're going to start seeing her inner circle leave. Okay. You're going to start seeing, Rain Roberts and Carrie Beck and some of these other, Candace Campos and some of these other women, leave. I don't think so, Peter. I think they basically, Apple gave her the offer and Headland countered it. I have a theory, talked about it with Cameron. He said I'm probably right, that before April of last year, 2022, about 2 weeks before the end of March, Headland basically put up the offer to McCarthy saying, we really want you, blah, blah, blah. McCarthy weighed her options, decided she wanted to do Star Wars, and she started digging into everything, including looking for housing in London. If you look at, Dave will agree with me. You look at what she was offered. She had a per diem, a car and a driver, a computer, a British phone, everything they were going to give her. So she started, and they sent her the agreement. They sent her the show Bible, which she had to memorize and read and look at. She started looking at vendors and places to film, etc. And 2 weeks later, Headland said, we don't need you anymore. So this is what happened. That's my theory, and I'm probably right. Because it's really the only thing that makes sense. Kennedy, and this was in the middle of Iger, or Chapek getting bitch slapped by the LGBTQ mob at Disney. All 5 of them. And she went and probably sent either an email or met Chapek face to face and said, all right, we're ready to get the green light for the acolyte. And he said, we're not fucking doing the fucking acolyte. Okay, so, and that was last. So she went back to Headland, bound and determined to get her way, because it looked to her that Chapek was weak at the time, and she told Headland, look, I want to keep this in my circle, you, me, Candace, that lady with the last name of Hijort, and a couple other people. And so you're going to have to get rid of McCarthy. So Headland called McCarthy and said, look, we can't use you anymore. And McCarthy was like, because she had lost out on sugar. So she didn't have either job. So when she went to Lucasfilms to get paid, they gave her $5,000. And this lady had worked with Tom Hanks. She had worked with Netflix on House of Cards, that well-received show Baller, and other places, and other big-name shows, okay? And it was connected. I mean, she's a friend of Bob Iger's himself. And she got pissed. She was insulted by the $5,000, went to her lawyer, and here we are. Okay, that's what happened. But I'm almost positive, in looking at the timeline that I've read in the legal documents, that she was removed from the cone of silence, the circle of truth, circle of trust, because they didn't get the green light, and there wasn't I would say, upwards of $175 million TV show. Okay. All right. And that's what, giving you a roundabout figure, I know what the figure was, giving you a roundabout figure. Okay. It could be higher, it could be lower. All right. But she was told that by Headland and thought, wow, okay. So when she went to get paid, now, if you're a fully funded Star Wars Disney Plus streaming show, knowing how much that Jon Favreau gets to make The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew, you'd expect to get your, be paid for both. At least be paid for what you were owed for sugar, which is what I think she's asking for. And you get $5,000. If you're a black pill, you think, well, they just didn't want to pay her. And you probably think she's making it up because you probably are too stupid. Okay, or Irving, I'll see you later. You're probably too stupid to understand that when you read the defense, if you've actually read the defense documents, that they're full of shit. I have. Okay. And like number, was it number 12? Item number 28 or whatever, 27, says, basically, I'll paraphrase, she's suing the wrong company. And if you think that a shell company like Blue Stocking means that it's a fully funded show, no, it doesn't. And if you don't believe Cameron, who's actually worked and works in the business, who's actually been working on scripts while he's visiting his sister and doing a lecture, doing a workshop, a screenwriting workshop at University of Pennsylvania, you don't know what you're talking about. They closed down one of the Blue Stockings, and I think it might be the UK one. Okay, and Blue Stocking itself is named in the lawsuit. So is Lucasfilm. Disney is not. But of course, Lucasfilm gets its money from Disney because that's who owns Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm owes its existence and its lifeblood to Disney. Okay, to Disney. So, I don't know what to say. Anyway, it's going to... No, it wasn't. It was a Lucasfilm employee. And she is... Candace Campos is on the leadership list. Go look it up. We all are. we all are done with certain black pill channels. I have divested myself emotionally from several. Okay. The only one I have any respect for is Midnight's Edge, because Andre knows what the truth is. All right. And he might allow certain attitudes to show up, but he knows what the truth is because he's a logical, smart guy. Again, subscribers to black pill channels need their cognitive dissonance fed. All right, it's like a narcissistic feeding tube. All right, okay, and it's there you go. Okay, and they yeah, it's codependency too. Let's all be angry together, and don't let anybody challenge our anger. It's like, what? None of this makes any sense. It doesn't. And the fact of the matter is, again, if Pablo Hidalgo approached me and said, can we talk? I've got all this information. I tell him, first off, you're a fucking liar. Second of all, your little Raylo friends got this Twitter account that I had banned that I just got back. Okay? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my face. That's exactly what I'd tell him. Look, the real enemy isn't a fan going, can we have a conversation about this? I don't think you're looking at this wrong. The real enemy are the flying monkeys at Lucasfilm. And people like Yellow Flash and 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 the rest of them don't understand that. All right, it's a cash grab, and they don't realize that the times have changed. All right, and it started to change when we hit the pandemic. Okay, and we're out of the pandemic, but we're feeling the effects of the pandemic in the economy. And look, you can tell this shit is coming from Kennedy's side. It is. All right? It just is. And it's scorched earth on the way out the door. Okay? They know they're done. They don't know when, but they know they're done. There you go. I mean, look, I could be, what time is it? It is 1:52 Eastern time. It's 10:52 California. And I have seen breaking news happen while I was on doing a live stream. All right. I've seen, stuff that knocked my socks off. Okay. I was the one that saw the Alonzo thing before anybody else did. All right. And it was, you just you gotta be prepared. And going back to Iger's strategy, what I think he's gonna do. Yeah, and you're right. Just some other guys, right? They're helping. All right. When I said this a while back, Friedrich Nietzsche, the great philosopher, said, be careful hunting monsters lest you become a monster. And if you stare at the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back at you. They have become what they hate. Okay? And they bully people who are like, wait a second, what are you talking about? This is not what I saw. And they don't just debate carefully. They viciously attack. Okay? And I'm sorry, but when I get people coming on here and they start sticking their nose up at me, and well, Bibbert said, and I don't think, and Bibbert, and I hope so. It's like, fuck you, asshole. All right. I don't play that game. All right. We don't do black pill here. Red pill. All right. Get woke, go broke is real. Look at Budweiser, for Christ's sakes. Look at Fox News. Look at where their stocks are after they got rid of Tucker over the pharmaceutical companies. All right, pharmaceutical companies got pissed off at him because he was exposing them and the jab, and Fox and the Murdochs told him, hey, you gotta stop picking on our sponsors. And he was like, no, I'm not. And they fired him. All right. He had absolutely no idea it was going to happen. He's just, look, I'm going to say this. That guy's got some, look, there are a lot of people out there that are very damaged. Okay. Something happened way in the Wayback Machine, and they never accepted it, and they've been angry ever since. Okay. And they're happy being angry. They're happy being pissed off. And that's YouTube. Okay. And that's not me. Okay. I lost my singing voice. I almost died of the I almost died of pneumonia. I've had a lot of shit happen to me in my life. But you kind of just say, after a while, say, fuck it and go on. Okay. Now, would I like to have been an actress? Yes. Would I have liked to have been a movie director? Yes. Would I have liked to have been a singer? Yeah. Did I get to do that? No. And it doesn't matter anymore. It's okay, Jason. I understand. Look, I've had people from other channels come on here to taunt and troll, acting like 5-year-olds. So I get a little bit defensive. NEDM, who are you? Again, it's like somebody changed their name. Which one are you? Because I don't. You have a wrench, and I can't remember giving you one. But tell me in the chat. It's one of those things where, you kind of look at people. Oh, okay, that's okay. That's all right, cool. That's all right, just Mike. Yeah, now I know who you are. You kind of get the picture of people when they start doing that, when they don't want to have a disagreement or change their opinion. Again, it's cognitive dissonance. And well, like, here's the deal. I'm glad Mike is back, by the way. I haven't seen him around in a while. Here's the deal. When she goes, oh, thank you, Jason. That happened when I was 19, and that was a long time ago. Long time ago. I miss it. I still miss it, but it's like, if I didn't lose my voice, I'd be dead. You guys wouldn't be talking to me. So, anyway, these people are going to move back the goalposts. All right. You already see it. People are going from the Ray movies real to it's in. Oh, you're lucky. I can't find a place around here that's showing it. They're gonna go from. Thank you, David. They're gonna go from Kennedy's gone to Dave Filoni sucks. And there are a lot of people who like Dave Filoni, including me. There are a lot of people out there who know that Dave Filoni is the closest thing Lucasfilm has right now to George Lucas. Okay. And there you go. Okay. There you go. And all right? But they're going to push the goalpost back because they want to be angry. They have to feed that cognitive dissonance that nothing good ever happens. They're wrong, by the way. Yeah, well, look, Pablo hates him. It's obvious. He's the one that probably started inside Lucasfilm. Yeah, and that's going to happen. And they're going to, look, my thing is this. I'm going to posit this, and then I'm going to leave because I'm losing my voice. They've never been Star Wars fans. Never. Okay. And when you hear them bitching about Bo-Katan, it's like, did you ever watch the Clone Wars? Or Pre Vizsla, or Paz Vizsla sacrificing himself. Hey, Mazeris. Okay. All right, stay safe, buddy. Paz Vizsla sacrificed himself to save Bo-Katan. That was like a penance for what his ancestor, maybe his father, Pre-Vizsla did in joining Darth Maul. All right, and that's truth. Okay, if you look at what that was about, it didn't have anything to do. Look, Dave. Look, if Jon Favreau was leaving, you know, he said a lot of things at Celebration. He's not going anywhere. You know, that is a black pill started by Pablo Hidalgo and the Lucasfilm Flying Monkeys. They're all flying in coordination. And if you are still yeah, and they're going to. Oh, I agree, Peter. That's okay, Mike. But to me, it looks like they're all in cahoots together with the Flying Monkeys at Lucasfilm. All right, that's why Kathy's not going anywhere, and everything sucks, and Dave sucks. All right. And when the Flying Monkeys are no longer there, sooner rather than later, they're going to run with the hate Dave thing. Why? Because that's all they have, and they've actually lost their supply of bullshit because the people supplying it to them are gone. Anyway. All right, let me see. Yeah, and that's what they're doing, Dread. I mean, you guys, I have the best subs on YouTube, I swear. Hit the like button. I gotta go because I'm listening to my voice, and I've got some stuff to do. So I gotta rock. Matt Bellany's just posted a tweet saying that Disney just showed Indiana Jones in a golf cart. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys around the galaxy, and let's see what happens. And in the meantime, I don't care what KK wants. It doesn't matter anymore because she's done. Okay, she could want the sun to crash into the moon. It doesn't matter. All right, you know, he's not going anywhere. And fuck anybody who says he is. Okay, and you guys know who I'm talking about. That is needless bullshit. But hey, I'm not the one running around saying Disney needs to burn to the ground. That is unrealistic, irrational, and stupid. See you guys around the galaxy.